Welcome to another full flight pre-recorded video on the YBCG channel. Today we are going from the usually sunny Gold Coast. It's a little bit overcast today, but from the usually sunny Gold Coast across the ditch and into Auckland, and we will be flying on the all black edition of the Air New Zealand A321neo. I hope you do enjoy it. It's about a 2.5 hour long flight, but of course I have cut it down to the vitals. So with that, let's get into the flight deck and get things underway. Alrighty, in the flight deck. I'm not using the inbuilt flight planning for this. I have created a plan on Simbrief, which I will manually enter into the FMC, which we can go ahead and do right now. So there are tutorials on this. I recommend just look up Fish Steaks YouTube channel. I might put a link in the description below. I say might because I might forget if I don't take a note of it. But just go through his video, and it will actually show you how to enter a flight plan into an A320 family aircraft in the FMC. It's really, really handy. Anyway, so go to init. You see there's no information in here at all. Flight plan, absolutely nothing at all. So we're going to enter all that in. So we are going from the Gold Coast, or Coolangatta, which is YBCG. Arrival is Auckland NZAA, and it should come up with no company routes. There it is. Go return. Cost index for Air New Zealand is, I can actually bring that up on screen in the flight plan. We can see cost index, so CI is 3.5. So we'll chuck that in, 3.5 for our cost index. Our cruise altitude today is going to be, again, I'll bring that up on screen. You can see there 350. So we'll put that in. It is going to give us our flex temp as well automatically. Cool. Now we go to the next page. Now you can see the fuel is automatically calculated 50%, and it's given us these values up here. I'm not going to touch the zero fuel weight or the center of gravity at all, but for the fuel, I am going to go back into the flight plan, and it should have on page 3. There it is there. So our fuel, 13 tonnes exactly. So let's put that in. Now to do that, you've got to come up into this one here, and we want to put in, actually I want to go 13014, and I've got a fuel calculator as well to get our takeoff weight, and it should be 82354 or near thereabouts 2. 82. Go above or below? We'll go below, 8227. CG, we will adjust that, and it'd be about 23.2. There we go. I'm assuming that there needs to be centered between the forward and after limit. I don't actually know, but it seems to work, so I'll put that in. Close that. It has updated our fuel. These values I don't think have changed, but we'll just leave them as is. Okay, now if we go to flight plan, so it's put in our departure and destination or arrival, and we'll go in, no, sorry, doing that wrong. We'll go to the actual flight plan. It's not a very long flight plan at all. I can find it on the, there it is. So if I bring it up on the screen again, do a bit of zooming, so you can see that it's, we just have to put in 1, 2, waypoints, and it will generate our airways and everything for us. It will, there will be an error, but I will fix that on camera as well. Also, if you want to skip all this part, just there will be chapters in the timeline down below. Anyway, so our first waypoint is going to be Scott, COTT. Chuck that in there, and it will bring up. It will ask us which one, and it was 27 from memory. We're not going to go insert yet. We've got one more, Upla, or Upla, UPLAR. Chuck that in as well. Is it going to bring up? No, that went straight in. So it's just the two that we need to enter. We're going to hit insert. Now our departure is direct. There's no SID, so we're just going to go 14 or 14. None. It's not, I didn't put none up there anyway. We'll go insert. Does that give us, yep, there, okay, that's in. And our arrival will be ILS 23 left at this stage. Looking at the weather, it seems to be, the wind seems to be pretty strong for 23 left. And it should be Bassiv. So we look for Bassiv 9A, Bassiv 9 Alpha. Chuck that in and insert. Okay, cool, and return. Now if I look at VFR map, it's going to be, oh, there's someone else at the airport. It's going to be all completely wrong. I'll show you what happens. In fact, see, it does this for a start. It goes up La and then up to Elnos, and then it does this weird sort of come in. So the flight plan I've got, which I can bring up on screen also, as you can see, it should go, so Bassiv is there, it should come down to Bonko, and then it'll hang a left at Domrey, go all the way across, back down Vibag, and meet the ILS on 23 left. I'm going to change that today because I don't like that, I don't like it. So I'm going to just make some adjustments in here. So I need to, first I need to delete, if I zoom out, I'm going to delete, oh come on, where are you? I'm going to delete Elnos. Also, it's given us a total distance of 61 nautical miles. That's not even close to correct. So I'll get rid of Elnos, and I'm just going to go insert and see what happens on the map. Okay, cool, it's taken out Elnos. I'm also going to take out everything from Losca all the way around to Delta 165M. I can't remember the NATO alphabet for M. Mike, of course. Well, Delta 165 Mike. So we are looking for Losga. Where are you? Losga, there you are. I'm going to take you out, Losga, and we're going to take out the bag. So you're gone. We're going to take out MRAG, and we're going to go insert there. So slightly different to my original flight plan from Simbrief. We're going to come down in south of Auckland, come up around the arc. I think, is that called DME? I forget, anyway. Come up and around, and we're 3,000 here on MRAG, and then straight into Auckland on the ILS. Excellent. So that's the flight plan done. Fuel and weights are done, centre of gravity. And you'll see our distance is now corrected itself to 1,266 nautical miles, which is, if I look at the flight plan, should tell me, I'm not going to bring it up on the screen, but it should tell me in here somewhere. I can never find it. 1267 is the distance apparently. So that's I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's get back up to here and we'll put some other figures in. So weather in the Gold Coast right now is 16 knot near headwind from runway 14, which is where we're taking off from. 28 degrees Celsius and clear, so not actually clear at all. As you can see, there are a few clouds around, but I suppose it's clear enough. Those clouds aren't going to affect us whatsoever. And what else we got? QNH 2974. So we will put that in. So 2974. 74, that's in. Let's get some more light there. And I'm going to put our cruise altitude straight in 350. We'll get the constraints on. Flight directors need to be on. Terrain, it needs to be on. And we haven't got our V speeds, I've just noticed. So back down to the FMC. And if we go to performance, of course. So it will automatically calculate if you just click the soft key next to it. There we go. So V1 163, VR 167, V2 168. Flaps, we only need one for takeoff from this runway. It's a 2,400 metre long runway, so it's fine. Also going to check ILS. ILS has not populated for us. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But luckily, I do have the chart, so we can see the ILS frequency is 109.9, which we will start to put in. I actually started to put in with that screen on, 109.9. So ILS frequency is in and loaded, so we are good to go. Just a quick note about this airport that I'm using. This is the Gold Coast airport. It's not the same one that comes in the sim. This is a paid add-on from the store. I think I got it for like 15 Australian dollars on sale, of course. I'm pretty happy with that. The one in the sim doesn't have the jetways. These are a new addition. These were put in sometime in 2020, and so I had to have the proper scenery. So it's not that great big concrete block. And Air New Zealand do indeed fly Auckland to the Gold Coast frequently. I think 3-4 times a week. So this is based on a real flight. Anyway, okay, so we can get some things fired up. We've got everything. I've got our V speeds. I'm happy to go. So let's not go down to there. We'll go up to the overhead. We'll get the batteries on. APU, get the start going. Get the nav lights on. Beacon can come on. Strobe onto auto. We'll unroll the landing lights for now, and I'll hit start. Probably have to hit start a couple of times. Yeah, we do. There is a glitch at the moment with this. There we go. So APU is firing up. So just wait for all that. Actually, while that is firing up, we're going to put the seatbelt sign on, and we're going to get rid of the jetway, which will probably take out our tug driver. Is it going to go? There we go. Yeah, it is. Look. Wow. Wilhelm scream right there as he's cut in half. Oh, he survived. A miracle. Okay, we'll get the APU bleed on. We can turn off the external power, and we'll get our ghost tug driver in position. Fuel pumps can come on, and we will also put ignition to start, and I better get a parking brake off as well. Cool, so we are all good to push back. Pushback will be to tail to the right today. It's a bit of a long pushback. We're going to push back to this taxi line here. So while we're waiting for that, let's get engine number 2 started up. Did I turn the APU bleed on? I did. Fuel pumps are on? Yep. Hopefully that lines us up nicely. Cool, that's engine number 2. We'll get engine number 1 up and running also. How close are we to the centre? That's pretty not bad. We'll get flaps can be at 1, and we will speed brake as well. Not going to worry about taxi lights because it is broad daylight. We don't really need them. The beacon's on, that's enough. Cool, that is everything fired up, so APU can now come off, and we will put the ignition back to normal. Parking brake can come off as well, and we can get our long skinny ass out to runway 14. Probably should confirm that the tug has gone back. Yeah, he's behind the, yeah, he's there. Just going to sit here for just a little bit, just a couple of seconds, get some things ready. So I've got the parking brake on. So we want landing lights on, and I better put the takeoff light on as well. We want auto brake to max. I'm going to put my view into my takeoff view, which I also use for landing as well. And so release the parking brake, and we will head out. We're just going to head out and take off. Oh, that was quite nice, wasn't it, that turn there? So nose in just a little bit, and we'll get up to around 50%-ish. Okay, 60. And flex. Passing 100. V1, rotate. Positive rate gear is coming up. Lose that flat, leave it into climb. Oops, probably climbing a little too high. Probably shouldn't have lost that flat, but well. And I'm going to go into autopilot. It should swing us to the left. There it goes. We can disarm that speed brake. If you're wondering why I retract the flaps so early on the takeoff, is because if you don't, for some reason the game drops your thrust like there's no tomorrow as soon as you hit autopilot, which is kind of annoying. Maybe if I just hand flew it. Nah. So it should be a pretty quick climb up to 10,000, I should imagine. Excellent, 10,000, so landing lights can now come off and we will start getting up to our cruising speed. So we're back with you once we have reached flight level 180 and then our cruise altitude. Until then, just enjoy some outdoor shots of the aircraft. Just starting our turn on the Scott waypoint, which will then send us out over the Tasman and direct pretty much to Auckland. So there's 180, so Q&H can go to standard. Seat belts can come off as well. And I'll even bring up the weather for Auckland, what we are expecting on arrival. So Auckland currently is 22 degrees Celsius, light rain. They've had light rain for the last 3 days. We have got cloud down to 1,200 feet, broken cloud down to 1,200 feet, and it is a 5-knot wind, which is actually quite low for Auckland. Usually they have stronger winds than that. But hopefully that stays the same, and we do have that headwind as we come in on 23 left once we have arrived in Northland. But anyway, I will come back to you as soon as we have reached our cruise altitude, and then after that it will be top of descent. We're just coming up to flight level 350 now, so that has taken us a little over 13 minutes from takeoff to cruise, so pretty good performance from the A321neo as always. Just looking at the time, so we were meant to leave at 1 PM Australian time, which is 4 PM New Zealand time. There's a 3-hour time difference. New Zealand is 3 hours ahead at present. Expected arrival is meant to be 7:10, but we're going to add 30 minutes to that, so around 7:40 PM we should be arriving into Auckland by. So it will be starting to get dark. We'll be landing in dusk, which is fine because I have got the paid add-on airport, so it is fully lit. But I will be back with you once we have reached top of descent and start making our way down into the top of the North Island.
When music is the only thing that keeps you alive, and you know that the time will come. We are feeling so unstoppable, dangerous, our comfort zone, protecting people with the tone. We just want to save this world, so prepare yourselves for us.
Alright, we are pretty much at top of descent now. As you can see, there is the mainland of New Zealand, North Island of New Zealand coming into view. So we're about 120 nautical miles away, actually a little bit more because we have got that, that arc to go around. But we are going to, our speed's already gone down to 240 knots on its own. But we will start our descent now, so I'm going to go down to flight level 270 initially, and we'll do that at 1800 feet per minute to begin with. Slowly make our way down to 3000 feet eventually, which will be our altitude for final approach. So I'll come, actually I won't come back to you yet, I will check the weather, which is right there. That was 65 minutes ago. Let's do a bit of an update and see what happens. Okay, so as of 35 minutes ago, the wind has changed slightly. It is only 7 knots now though. I mean, it was 5, but when I first checked it was 12 first thing this morning. So it has it's 7 knots. We've got 21 degrees centigrade light rain. Pretty standard weather for coming into Auckland. That cloud has lifted, so it is now up at 1,000 feet, broken, and then broken again at 1,900 feet as well. So there was cloud down to 5,000 feet earlier on. Now it's just the 2 levels, so it should be a reasonably clear approach coming into Auckland today. We have just descended below 18,000 feet, actually just below 17,000 feet. I just thought I'd chuck the recording on just to show you the coastline of Northland in New Zealand as we come into Auckland, and how stunning it is. Even in the simulator, it looks pretty nice. We are just about to, well, not just about, but we're about 28 miles away from starting our approach and then making our left turn onto final. So we're just coming down to 15,000 feet now, so we're not too far away at all. Probably another 15 to 20 minutes in the air and then we'll be on the ground. We're just coming down to 10,000 now, and it looks like I've actually lost navigation, but we'll see what happens. This line here hasn't disappeared, but navigation line there has, which historically usually means the aircraft will just start veering towards Auckland. So I'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. In the meantime, landing lights can come on, and we will start slowing the aircraft down because we're going to start putting flaps out reasonably soon-ish. So first we'll get us down to 220. I have had to expedite our descent just a little bit because we're sitting a little bit higher up than I had anticipated at this stage. So it's going down at 1800 feet per minute for now, but once we get down to a safe 6,000 when we're on the arc, we can keep going down to 3,000. I just did check the weather, and it's saying right now, well actually as of 22 minutes ago, that there is cloud down to 8,000, so that is a little bit different to what it was before. Sorry, the aircraft just did a little bit of a turn and I was concerned, but it seems to be coming back right. Okay, now it's picking up the arc. Cool. Anyway, let's get down to 3,000. We'll continue that at 1,800 feet per minute. No, we won't. We'll raise that to 1,500 feet per minute for now. See where it takes us. Don't want to get that speed up too much. By the time the approach turn is around 10 miles away, I want to start putting out the flaps. Okay, we're about 3.5, maybe close to 4 miles away from our turn. The airport is right out the, in fact you can't even see it. I don't know if I go at that. No, you still can't see it. It should be out there somewhere. It is a bit of a sharp left turn to line up for final. But we're just coming down to 3,000 feet now. Did have to slow the descent down a bit because I had come down way too early. And I don't like to do that because we just sit hovering above all this hilly terrain. But just one more turn and we will be on our way down at Auckland. Flaps are already down to 2. I will arm a speed brake while I'm here as well. We'll get gear down when we're around 2,000 feet and sitting at 170 knots, which will be after this turn. ILS has already been activated. Of course, unlike the Boeings, you've got to hit the button yourself in here. Now what it will do is this will probably go over the line and then come back again, I'm pretty sure. It tends to do that. Okay, so we can hit approach. Now go around altitude is 3,000 feet, so I'm going to leave that as is. QNH 29.77. Okay, we're going to go to flaps 3. Once our speed gets down to 170, we will get the gear down and we will be on our way to landing into Auckland. So I thought it was going to be getting close to dusk by the time we landed, but I forget New Zealand sits fairly far south on the globe, so in summer it can be light up until 8, 9 o'clock at night in the North Island and between 10, 11 o'clock at night in the South Island. I completely forgot about that. So that's why the sun is sitting so high up. Anyway, we are down to 170 knots, so we can get the gear down. There it goes. Beauty. And we'll put auto brake to medium. Okay, let's go so down to 1200. We'll go flaps to full. We'll just double check everything else is all correct. So landing lights are on. Oh, we'll get the takeoff light on since the wheels are down. Seatbelts have been on since we dipped below 2,000 feet. Brake is set to medium, that's 1,000 feet. I'm going to let the ILS take us in a little bit longer because Auckland is renowned for crosswinds, but also for wind shear, just because of the openness off the bay. So I'll just let the FMC do the heavy work for the rest of it. I also want to be slower than 160. Let's go down to, I want to go 150 for this landing. Interesting that it set it to 160.
500.
See, it is a little bit all over the place. It will bring the nose up a bit too. Am I trusting it?
300.
Come on. You're going to descend us straight to the end of the runway. Come on, baby, lift up, lift up. No.
200.
I don't trust it. I'm manual control my aircraft. Let's get you down on the ground. That's it.
100. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Bit of porpoising action. Two in reverse. Okay, 60 knots, stow reverses and manual braking. And we'll take this exit right here. The flaps and also lose those spoilers. And we should have taken that turn actually, which we will do. I should have taken that turn there. Okay, we're not going to go there. We're going to go to these gates over here. So Auckland is absolutely littered with 787s and some 777s as well. True to their fleet, they do have the 777-300ER and the 787-9 in their fleet. 777-300ERs will be retired sometime in the next, I think in the next 5 years. And they're going to be replaced with the 787-10, according to Air New Zealand. Oh, overshot that one a little bit. Okay, so we'll get the APU bleed on first and we'll get the engines shut down. Engine bleed can come off 1 and 2, Gen 1, Gen 2, or the fuel pumps. Okay, just request the jetway as well. We'll get the external power on and we can turn the APU off. Oops, taxi light, well, that was actually landing light, that should have been off. And we'll also get rid of the beacon. Just wait for this jetway to come across and we will get the seatbelt sign off. Here it comes. Awesome, that is latched on, so we can now get the seatbelt sign off. So that is us all done across the ditch and into Auckland. Hope you did enjoy the flight. In actual fact, I didn't stop the chrono. So I've got 2 hours and 40 minutes on the clock. We'll count that as 2 hours 40 minutes because the engine's just shut down. So 2 hours 40 from the Gold Coast to Auckland, which isn't bad. If you go the other way, it's about 3 hours 15. This is just due to the winds coming from the west to the east. That's a phenomena that happens all over the globe anyway. So it's always about 2.5 hours when you come from Aussie to New Zealand. So anyway, thank you very much for watching along, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out the channel for, I do live stream a couple of times a week, but there'll be more of these full flight webisodes. I'm going to try and do at least one a fortnight for you and just load them up onto the channel, and so you can watch at your own pleasure. But until then, I'll see you next time.